I hadn't spoken to them in 2 years. Not since the night they told me, over dinner, that some children are just disappointments. My father said it like it was a fact of life. My mother nodded, eyes on her wine glass. And across the table, my sister grinned, the same grin she wore when they handed her the $560,000 check for her dream house. Me, I got the bill for dinner. I remember staring at the steak knife, wondering if silence could cut deeper than steel. So I said nothing. I just left, paid the bill, and stopped calling. They never reached out either. Not for my birthday, not when I moved out, not when I started building the life they swore I'd never have. That silence became my weapon. The truth is, I didn't vanish. I rebuilt. While my sister posted Instagram stories from her investment property, I was in a cramped studio, working nights and coding days. I learned everything I could about real estate, loans, tax liens, all the things she thought her pretty smile exempted her from understanding. And when I found a foreclosed property on the outskirts of town, her side of town, I bought it, quietly, under an LLC, paid in cash. The house was old, rotted, forgotten. Perfect. That's where the plan began. It wasn't about revenge at first. It was about peace, the kind that comes from being invisible. But peace doesn't last when ghosts drive by. 2 years after I'd left, my sister drove past my property. I saw her through the window, her car slowing, her face pale, her phone in her hand. And then it rang. "Dad's on the phone," she screamed. "He says you need to come home, right now." I didn't answer, because she wasn't screaming at me. She was screaming about me. Here's what they didn't know. When I bought that property, I didn't just fix it. I restored it. Beautifully. Deliberately. A full renovation. Modern glass, black steel, cedar panels. A house worth triple what I paid. And every time I filed a permit, every time I changed ownership records, I used their names. Not legally, but publicly. Online articles, press mentions, fake family foundation posts. The Wren family developments. By the time the house was finished, every search for my parents' names led to my property, the house they never helped me build. The son they said would fail, suddenly a name attached to success they didn't deserve. And when my sister saw it, she thought I'd done it for them. She thought it was their gift, their second home, their reward. So she called them, proud, confused, terrified. And that's when the panic began. My father drove out that same evening. He stood on the curb, staring at the house, his reflection in the mirrored glass. "Why is our name on this?" he demanded. I looked at him, calm. "It's not," I said. "It's mine. It's just what the world believes now." He looked smaller then, the man who once told me I'd never build anything worth owning. I watched him realize what I'd done. The property wasn't just a house. It was a brand, a reputation. And every credit, every headline, every digital footprint tied back to him, to their taxes, to their financials, to every secret they'd hidden behind family success. A month later, the IRS contacted him. Turns out, the Wren family developments wasn't registered properly because it didn't exist. But the transactions did. The donations, the public filings, they weren't in my name, they were in his. He tried to clear it up, but every paper trail led back to a ghost business that looked like his, sounded like his, and operated under his address, the one I still technically co-owned, because my name was never removed from the mortgage he'd forgotten to refinance years ago. That's when I got the call. He didn't yell this time. He begged. "Please," he said, "help me fix this." I almost laughed. The same man who said I'd never succeed was now asking his failure to save him. So I did help. I gave him the paperwork, the statement of transfer, the one that would remove his name from everything connected to me and assign full ownership of the house, the company, and all its digital assets to me. He signed, without reading. That night, I watched his house go up for sale. The one they'd bought for my sister with the $560,000. Foreclosure notice on the lawn within a month. People talk about revenge like it's fire. They're wrong. It's ice. It takes time, it requires patience, and when it finally hits, it burns colder than they ever expect. Now, every time my sister drives past that house, she sees my name on the gate. Every time my parents hear about new developments, they hear about me, the failure who owns the neighborhood they wanted to belong to. I don't answer their calls. I don't need to. Because some silence isn't absence, it's domination.